I love robots. They're one of the most interesting piece of technologies that could exist. I remember when I watched Pacific Rim on the TV when I was a kid and was fascinated at how a full-on Metal Gear can box like that, and ever since that I've been infatuated with robots. And back then I thought, these types of tech won't exist for decades or even centuries. Well, little old me thought wrong, because not even 2 decades later we would have humanoid robots that are dumb. And I was right all those years ago. Over the past 2 years, the dream of completely automating everything a human can do is getting a lot more closer to reality than it has ever been. Claude just killed video editors, Canva, AI has replaced your keyboard, and whilst the cracking AI industry is trying to replace your creativity and input, they're also trying to replace your physical importance by making an abundance of humanoid robots. Hell, they even promised we'll be cracking some Iron Maidens by 2025, but it's now 2026, and I haven't been hearing much clanking around, so you've probably seen a lot of news and videos surrounding these humanoid robots. They've been popping up everywhere for the better part of the year. Companies like Tesla are pumping out their own robots, claiming it's all automated and can sustain itself for a long time. There's a plethora of videos of humanoid robots running about from China, and they've practically made their own subgenre of sports with how many robot boxing videos there are on the internet, like it's an off-brand version of Real Steel and the So-So Marathon. I'll admit these are cool, to an extent. Their effort in making a robot look and act human, as in being able to stand on 2 legs and not falling over at every moment, is respectable and impressive. There are a few companies that are transparent about the process, like Boston Dynamics, and show a lot of promise in them dating more than a decade back, so this isn't really anything new. But I've seen a noticeable uptick of these videos recently, and they are almost marketed like the next big thing. If you see any videos covering this year's CES, you'll notice most of the products are either one of 2 things: an AI-infused bullshit product or some sort of human robot advertised to help you out with chores, or they'll just be boxing each other, and other than those 2, there's like one other good product they market there. They make it out like these little human robots are going to be with us like how they marketed AI. Like Detroit Become Human is actually gonna be a real thing, and these robots are going to gain sentience and, well, no, we barely even have sex with robots yet. And I don't think we'll ever have sex with a robot in the near future. And if the robots can't even satisfy your libido, I doubt any humanoid robot would be advanced enough to help you with household chores. Because these robots, which may look cool and glamorous when on a stage, are a fucking nightmare on practice. You've most likely heard of a robot called Neo, a $20,000 robot advertised by X1 Tech to be able to do your chores around the house. That, as stated on their website, is supposed to be an autonomous helping hand, a way to reclaim lost time to washing dishes and cleaning laundry, made to be soft and safe as to not harm the people and the house itself. And you might hear that and think, that sounds too good to be true. Well, that's because it is. In their own website, they admit this is not going to be good enough, so you can instead get some random kid at their company to control the robot for you so that the robot can get used to the task at hand, which at that point, it'd be better off for you to hire a human housekeeper. And this isn't a sort of thing where they'll try to hide it or snub it out in hopes to trick people to buy the robot thinking it'll be a fully automatic robot helper. No, it has its own big hero section in their own website that basically says if the robot fucks up, which it will, a lot, you can call up our expert to fix that. And this thing wouldn't be advertised as such if they didn't know the auto mode sucks ass. In a demonstration by the Wall Street Journal, they quite literally show the robot stumbling around and taking ages to complete the most menial and simple tasks like picking up a water bottle and putting things in the dishwasher, and mind you, this is with the expert controlling the robot.
And that took 5 minutes. robots.
I'm convinced the auto mode would just roll over and die, taking the house with it. This is the problem with humanoid robots. There are way too many variables to take into account, especially when the robot is supposed to help you with everyday chores. Every single house is different. One single item can have billions of different shapes and locations. Even if one of these robots learn and practice these chores in a singular house for a decade, I doubt they will be moving as efficient as a human housekeeper would. And for $20,000, personally, I'd say fuck that. They're probably gonna add a monthly subscription service on top of that too. We seem to have a weird obsession with making robots look and act like us, but making robots imitate a human takes a significant amount of investment and R&D to make, and even then that still results in a robot that barely functions like a human. The most optimal shape of a robot is always not a humanoid shape because it's way too hard and costly to do that. Instead of having walking robots take out the trash, you'd be better off having a conveyor belt and a chute that compacts and throws it automatically. You might see Ethan from Infinite Warfare and think that the future will have robots wielding guns or whatever, but no, the most advanced robot will just be a wall with 20 cannons on tank tracks. That's advanced warfare. It almost feels like they're setting this whole thing up as if it's going to be the next big thing after the AI bubble inevitably pops. They're advertising it like they're going to take over your chores, your labor jobs, and your entertainment, which, you know, two of those things sound good, but they've all been failing at all of them. All the bots made for labor that have been shown off are all obviously just human controlled, and you've seen all the videos of boxing robots and this one falling on stage needing to be carried off. They all can't even compete with humans, even in entertainment value. We don't need these humanoid robots. They're dumb. They might look good in movies, but in real life, they're not good. Like, at least with AI, even with its drawbacks with like the environment and stuff, I can still see some value within it. It makes research a bit easier. It eases up coding and everything in between, but humanoid robots, I don't see any value, man. This ship has sunk before it even sailed. Even in the far future, I doubt we'll ever see any humanoid robot be on par with a human, let alone surpass us. Robots or androids from fictional worlds like Detroit Become Human or Real Steel won't ever be a reality because of just how expensive researching and making one of these types of robots can be. And at the end of the day, there are just way better options and forms of robots out there for these kinds of tasks. So, sorry to burst your bubble and those expecting to be cracking those girls from Atomic Hearts by now, but I don't think we're gonna be fucking any robots anytime soon. If ever. I know it's disappointing. I feel you. I'm in the same boat. I'd crack Connor in a heartbeat, but that's just not gonna happen. Not in our lifetime, at least. So, sorry. And with that, I'll leave you with a piece of advice, and it's that your clanker wife isn't going to be here anytime soon. So if I were you, I'd bite the bullet and find a human one. Or just stay in your room, jerking off or something. I don't fucking know. It's your life. Live it like you live it, alright? Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, help up the video, it helps me out, and I'll see you next time. And hopefully I won't be replaced by a clanker next time.
Start digging in your butt,